Okay, guys, I'm back. Like I was saying, when it comes to having Aries in the fourth house, you have to look at the relationship that you have with your mother. In the if whatever sign, whatever planet is in this house, think about the dynamic between you and your mother. Um, like I said, my mom was dealing with the mental issues, um, coupled with the fact that I had no benefit to her outside of being of service. She was very dominating. When it came to me, she was very dominating. As long as she was controlling me in the situation, she was, okay. Um, I don't blame my mom for anything. Um, I realize now, while I have been on this healing journey for the last 2 years, that my mom could only do what she knew to do. She, a lot of things she didn't know because, like I said, she didn't have her mother, and so I really feel like, generational curses are a thing. Um, my mom didn't have her mom, and so she didn't have that nurturing figure or that woman figure in her life coming up that could guide her in women matters, um that could show her how to be emotionally comforting or comforted so that she can do it with her own kids. She always felt like she had to go and get it because my mom was in foster care. She lost her mom when she was around 5 or 6. And the real question to this day is, why was she in foster care if she had living sisters that could have taken her in? And to my understanding, those family members, the family member that did take her in, my mother suffered abuse under her and her family. My mother and my mother's brother suffered abuse under those family members. And I think what happened is my mom attempted to expose what the fuck the abuse was. And she was casted out. And they put her in foster care. They allowed her to go into foster care. Her and her brother. And until the truth comes out about what really happened, I'm going to believe that that's what happened. Because my mother was abused under the care of her aunt's family members. And my mom was going to expose it, or my mom attempted to expose it, and they silenced her or attempted to silence her, and then they put her in foster care. So my mom didn't even have her family, and I feel like from the time my mom lost her mom and when she lost her father, like, she was never the same. And the fact that I feel like she was abused by her own family was not a go-to for her. That side of the family, anyway, wasn't a go-to for her. So these are the type of things that shaped her into who she became. And I think she always felt like she had to prove herself, or she had to look for others for validation. She couldn't validate herself. Relationships became valuable to her. But I did suffer. I suffered in the home with my mom. I suffered with family, period. My mother was absent a lot, so I felt by myself a lot. Um, I had to learn through experiences, like I said before, because my mom couldn't guide me. Um, I was estranged from my family after I left the home. Like, I didn't want to be around anybody. I didn't want to be around any family members because by that time, when I left home, I felt like family with the enemies. There was always conflict with family. This is how I grew up. This conflict happened before I even came along. Before some of my cousins even came along, it was already there, and it continued. To this day, I only associate with a few family members, and I can count them on one hand, and I'm okay with that. I don't deal with family. um, to me, family can't be trusted. But my mom had a lot of strong emotion in her. Um, she had a lot of confusion in her, like she didn't understand a lot. Um, as far as relationships were concerned with family members and her own children. Um, and so I ended up being the type of person in the home who knew that my security was there. As long as I was in control, I had security because I could trust myself. So I put the trust in myself to provide security to me. And I maintain that at all costs when it comes to my home and family life. Um, I also have Lilith here. Um, and Lilith is, we all know she's that extremely independent woman in us. Let me say it like this. That extremely independent feminine energy in us. That area of life where it's like you will not try to dominate me. You will not try to take control or overpower me here. You know, mine is in my fourth house. If you attempt to, bring chaos into my home, around my children, we're going to have a problem. If you mess with my children, we're going to have a problem. I don't let people in my house. I don't like people in my house. Um, it's my way of maintaining that security and safety that I know I can bring to my home. And anybody who tries to infringe on that or thinks they can come in and try to take control or anything like that, trying to dominate me, or that's not going to work in my house. That doesn't work here. And with Lilith being here, Lilith will go to whatever means she needs to maintain her power and her independence. Because in her mind, she doesn't understand why she has to be submissive. She don't understand that because Lilith that's a sexual energy. too, you know. So, but she doesn't. She never wanted to be submissive, or she didn't want to be submissive all the time. Um, so you got to think whatever area of life Lilith is in, that's that area in life where you're like, well, that's not fair that this, you think that you're better than me here, or you're trying to control me here. It's not going to work. And as soon as you try to do it, you're going to get my shadow side. And with my Lilith being in Aries, it's like double fire. Lilith is already a bitch, or she can be a bitch. And then I got Aries here. So it's like when somebody crosses me or attempts to cross me or my family, whatever's going on up here, I'm going to feel it. That's why when you hear somebody say 0 to 100, oh yeah, that's what happened. 0 to 100 real quick. Um, Having lived here doesn't help with my high blood pressure. Because as soon as I feel like you're trying me, or as soon as I feel like you're not understanding me, or you want conflict, I'm going to give it to you. I want what I want in my house. This is my house. This is what I do. I'm in control here, not you. I set the rules, all this other stuff. Yes, that's me in my home environment. Yes, it is. But what I've learned here with having lived here is that I have to consider my family's emotions, more specifically my kids and my siblings. Like, I do have to take to account their emotions as well as mine, because I don't want it to seem like their feelings don't matter. Because in my house, it could be that whatever I say is law, regardless of how you feel. I was like that for the longest time. But I know now that I really picked up on that from my mother. It was instilled in me as a child. And I'm seeking to change that, because I'm noticing that the more I pay attention to my children's emotions, and the more that I just listen and allow them that space to express themselves, they feel better. I see a change in their behavior when I do that, versus me yelling like, no, you heard what I said. No, 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 no. You know what I'm saying? Do what I say do and all this. You know, sometimes I just have to sit back and listen. I could be impatient in my house. When I ask for something to get done, I want it done then. The first time I ask, not the second, third, fourth. I could be very impatient. But I've learned that the way I communicate is also as important as what I communicate and how it's received. And my children learn differently than I did when I was coming up. So whatever was said to me, I did then, right when it was said to me. But sometimes my kids can be doing something when I talk to them, and they can either not hear me or they can hear me, but because they're doing something else, their attention is focused on that. at the time. So instead of me giving them time to do it, it's more of, you didn't hear what I said, you know? So that aggression type stuff. I've learned to do things differently. I don't have to be so uh fierce, or I don't have to go into attack mode whenever I ask them to do things around the house anymore, or whenever they need to express things. I can give them their time instead of constantly saying, I don't have time for that, I'll talk to you later, go do something else, I'm busy right now. Because I used to be very to myself in the house, not wanting to be bothered, not wanting to be messed with, because I'm in my zone and I'm at peace and this is my place of security. Don't bother me. But I can't be like that with my children. So I'm taking the steps necessary to do better and not carry on the things that my mom did to me, to my children. I don't want to do that. My time, like I still ask, I let my kids know, because like I said, communication is important, but I let them know, hey, mommy's about to do this, this, and this. So give mommy some time. If I close my door, they know mommy's doing something. Don't bother mommy. And I'm teaching them the importance of boundaries, because that's important. Mommy's door is closed. That's a boundary. You don't get to cross that unless you get permission. You know, and it's really helping. It's helping me and my kids' relationship, because it was really bad for a long time. Me and my daughter used to go at it all the time, and we still do from time to time, but I handle it differently now. It used to get so bad that I would push my daughter into a corner, or I don't wrap my hands around her neck, all kind of stuff. But I know that is not me. That's my mother in me. Or those are my mother's ways. And that's what I learned coming up. That don't disrespect me or this. And it shouldn't result to violence or me putting my hands on her or doing anything like that, because maybe what she needs is for me to listen. My daughter's very emotional, but she wants me to give her that emotional support. She don't want it from everybody else. She wants it from me, and it's the one thing that I have struggled with my entire life, because it wasn't given to me. So I really had to put some effort into giving that emotional support to my children. Um, but yeah, so my videos be getting long, but that's what I wanted to say about having Aries in the fourth house and having my Lilith here. It's like, with Aries being here, it's that fire energy. So, you know, I had to learn patience. I had to learn how to express myself without being violent and aggressive. Trying to calm the dominance down and the control down and give leeway sometimes. That's okay. So basically, learning how to compromise is a big one for this placement, which I'm doing. And I can say that it hasn't been overnight. I can say that it has been progressing throughout the time of my acceptance and acknowledgement of what was going on with me. But a lot of it stems from my relationship with my mother. Um, that if I had the chance to say, I understand I definitely would. But that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Please leave your comments, questions, concerns, and I'll be back. Have a good one.